Hello, my friends, and welcome back. This is going to be the last part of my chakra series, little exploration deep dive. Going to recap on the crown. Finally made it through all 7. It was a journey. I think my favorite part about the crown, which I'll save for last, really just kind of brings it all full circle. I was doing some research, reading the books I have, listening to different podcasts, and just kind of felt called to give each of my chakras undivided attention. So I spent about 7 to 10 days, kind of depending on where I felt I was at and what intuitively felt right on each space. I was able to utilize different crystals and frequencies and journal prompts and meditations and all of the like, and it was really helpful. As an energy healer, I'm pretty aware of my chakras, but I have never necessarily given them my undivided attention before, so I found it to be really powerful and insightful to just give everything a really deep look over, not just a surface level glance, but connect with the energy and see what it feels like and play around with it a little bit and ask questions and really check in and see what resonated and what might have been a little bit stuck or what might have been overactive. Moving on to the crown, I wore lots of Tiffany Stone. I also wore Herkimer Diamond and Ametrine. Very much crown opening stones, connection to source and higher selves. The biggest thing that happened for me was realizing everything I've really been focusing on and setting goals on and dreaming about lately was really coming through like full force. Everything that I'm trying to pull into my reality in the next few months, in the next year, the things that I've been dreaming about for the past year and slowly working, inching my way along, just 1% every day, consistently. These different goals I've had really came on strong. About halfway through, I realized I was starting to get a little frustrated and impatient, which I found this to be pretty fascinating. I wasn't expecting to get so ruffled from seeing everything I want come through. One of the nicer realizations from that frustration, I was able to reframe my mindset around it and realize that, yes, I'm frustrated because I don't have it, but working with my crown really allowed me to open up my crown and see what's meant for me. And I got a lot of confirmation that the things that I desire and I dream of are coming from my higher self. It's not coming from a trend or a fad or a half-thought idea or a maybe. Everything that I've been truly with my whole heart and soul really thinking about and pushing for really came through very strong. So as much as I needed to take a little intermission, to be very honest, I had to take a little break in the middle to ground myself. Taking that break to ground myself really showed me that I'm in alignment and I need to trust the timing and the process. So it was really fun and fascinating to kind of have those two different dynamics going on. I was being shown lots of information. I was getting all of these really great creative ideas and inspirations and insights, and I started a list with a lot of the things that I was thinking up, but at the same time, I wasn't very grounded about it, and I needed to kind of work through that and take a break. Once I was kind of recalibrated and shifted my perspective on the information I was given, I was able to trust the divine time and the divine flow and see where I'm at right now and hold space for it and be thankful for it and honor it. One thing it also taught me to do was to be grateful for how far I've made it, celebrate my wins and celebrate my progress instead of just constantly looking forward for the next dopamine rush and the next box to check. The piece that I was holding off on and sharing kind of has to do with how I needed that intermission. After talking with a couple of friends of mine in the spiritual community, we realized that as your crown really opens up, it takes work and intention, and it's pretty essential to be able to ground that energy back down. I've been learning a lot about Kundalini energy, which starts in your root and moves up through your chakras and out your crown, and what's really important in this human experience is for us to be able to ground that energy back down. Ground those downloads and those dreams and desires and insights and ideas, and take things that are floating around in the ether around us as thought forms, as energy, and bring it down in a sense that we can make them into tangible reality. That's why we're here as humans. We sit and we honor and we allow ourselves to have these dreams. Something I learned is sometimes when these dreams get really big, there can feel like there's a lot of pressure or performance on them, and if you believe that they come from source and they're your soul's mission, That's all they are. They're not your dreams. You didn't think them up, but they're transmissions that you've gotten, and it's part of your purpose to fulfill. As someone who's floated around a lot in her 20s and didn't really know what a purpose was, the more you learn about yourself, the more you find out what that purpose is. You have to learn it. You don't get to choose it. So by understanding that, these big dreams and desires that I might be getting intimidated by or impatient about, they're not mine. They're my soul's purpose. And I'll get there. Because if I can dream them, I can have them. They're in my realm. They're in my sphere. I thought it was really fun to kind of play around and think with the ideas that I was getting this way. I had to circle back to my root and ground again because I realized that I was getting a lot more information than I had understood to be getting. I thought there was going to be some sort of divine grand gesture almost that was going to show me that this is a download, this is your higher self. The more I learn and explore, the more I learn that it all comes down to a feeling. The fact that we're all alive here right now is the magic. The mundane is magic. If you think about how the sun keeps us alive and the trees and the plants and all the other animals and the weather, like all of that is magic. It's crazy that all of this is real. If everything's magic, then those little subtle nudges I was getting are magic too. Something that I've really been learning a lot is that it's not always that you're gonna get this divine download and it's gonna be very clear and polished, but for me at least, I sense a lot of the information through my vessel. Anything that feels light and expansive and exciting and joyful and playful, that's my higher self. Anything that feels constricting and dense and just gloomy or forced or restrictive, anything like that, that's not my higher self. That's conditioning speaking. By observing and learning and leaning into these different aspects, you can get a sense that your soul doesn't have that density that the human experience has. Your soul and your higher self are operating from this place of love and excitement and joy. Your soul as a non-physical structure, it doesn't have to deal with some of the hardships and the density that we deal with. So it's not coming from that type of energetic space. It's coming from that lightness and that expansion. And that was a really big takeaway for me, because not only was I able to find some discernment and clarity in terms of what my higher self is communicating to me, I was also able to learn what my radar system is. And I think that's really important for all of us. It does take time. The crown chakra also told me that is things take time. Divine time is real. It only moves as quickly as we're ready for. If I'm putting off the work, if I'm not choosing to sit with myself and explore myself and my wants and my needs and my desires and my dreams, then divine time knows I'm not ready to hear what's coming for me. But if I'm doing the work and I'm taking the breaks and I'm giving myself rest and grace and reframing my beliefs and deconditioning and reconditioning, divine timing will allow me to have what I need when I'm ready for it. That's where it doesn't run on a clock. What we give, we get back. I hope some of this makes some sense. I think for me, the crown never necessarily made tons of sense. I think things like the root and the heart and the throat can be a bit more just digestible in terms of chakras to understand. I've genuinely never really spent too much time on my crown. A lot of it came down to that trust and the alignment and that connection and the divinity, just the genuine spirituality of things, understanding that this whole world is sacred, that you and I are sacred. We're expressions of the universe, expressions of source, of God, of whatever your word is for it. I think it was really, really fascinating to be able to pull that into this world and understand a little bit clearer what it all means in a way that felt more tangible. I'll leave you with it. Thanks for joining me on this little journey of mine. I did do a little workshop on exploring the chakras, so I will have that uploaded here soon. If you'd like to walk yourself through some of the different meditations and journaling prompts, or if you'd like to walk yourself through taking a couple months to just really learn yourself better in these different energy centers, I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget, just because I've worked on them all or you've worked on them all doesn't mean it's over. There's always work to be done. There's always more to learn. And it's not that heavy, boring, dense work. It's the fun work. It's the exploration. It's the things that we want to be doing and we're excited to be doing. Perspective is everything. I'm wishing you all of the abundance. May divine time meet you exactly where you need to be. Thanks for being here. Have a great day.